7 really cool bits of advice I wish I'd known before I started soaping. Number 1, be intentional about your product. If you want to say that your product is moisturizing, make sure you're making a moisturizing bar. So you can go somewhere like SoapCalc or do some research, make some test batches, do lots of reading, watching, learning before you're putting it out there, advertising it as a product, saying this is what it is. If you want it to be cleansing, what do you need to put in it to make it cleansing, and so on. So using a tool like SoapCalc can help a lot right off the bat, but also you can learn so much from other soapers. There's a lot of knowledge out there. Go get it. Number 2, know who you are and know who your customer is. If you're going to sell soap, before you do that, make lots. Experiment, find out what you like, find out what works. So if you want to be a vegan soaper, then be clear about that. You make vegan soap, you're using vegan ingredients, and that's the type of customer you're looking for. That's how you're going to do your marketing and your making. So that's going to narrow things down for you a lot. So there are lots of options. You could be farm to table. It could be about the packaging and environmentalism. It could be about veganism. It could be about a couple of those things. But make sure you know who your customer is and who you are, and you're very clear in all of your messaging about that, and make lots of practice batches so that if you're telling people that's what they're getting, that's what they're getting. Know who you are, know if you're going to use colorants, know if you're going to use just natural colors and herbs and stuff, know how you're going to scent. Are you going to be on-scented? Are you going to use essential oils? Are you going to derive your own things from botanicals in your yard and dry them and infuse oils, or are you going to buy fragrance oils? Knowing all that stuff is part of knowing what your brand is going to be, and it'll help you from the outset and save you a lot of agony if you can figure out what your style is from the beginning. Number 3, decide whether soaping is a hobby or you and soaping are going steady and getting engaged. If soaping's a hobby, that's great. Enjoy. But don't kid yourself that you can spend infinitely on it and not have to worry or plan. If soaping is a business, then you need to do those things. If you want to be able to continue to fund your hobby from the soap that you make, then you need to make a plan and not be wishy-washy about that. Be definite. If you say it's a hobby and then you spend on it infinitely and make all kinds of soap, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to continue to fund that hobby? When I started soaping, I wasn't clear about that. I said it'll be a business, but I don't mind if it's a hobby. And then I spent way too much money with no plan. And I needed to make money, and I didn't have a good plan. So if you're soaping be clear with yourself and be honest with yourself. If you're soaping as a business, have a financial plan from the get-go. Stay within your budget and know all the places that you're projecting to make money and how much you're going to make. Know what your inventory is worth. Know who your customer is. If you don't do those things and say, I'm soaping to learn, I don't care, I've spent money on university, I can spend money on this, realize that if you're borrowing it from your credit card at 19%, it's not exactly your student loan. You're going to get screwed later. So be clear. It's better to go out and get incorporated and get a bookkeeper or financial planner or somebody who's going to hold you to account if you're a person like me who is just too loosey-goosey all the time. Loosey-goosey all the time is a recipe for a failed company. So don't do that. Be strict with yourself. Know yourself and know who you need help from and what you can do and what you need to get somebody else to do. Go get them and get that help to help you stay organized and stay on track. Only buy what you need. Don't buy extra things. If you're buying a lot of extra things, You're going to have all kinds of reagents that you've invested money in that you don't have a plan for, and they're spoiling. So if you can decide what kind of soaps you're making and basically stick to this range, like you have 4 basic kind of soaps, and then you have some different scents or colors or whatever, you know what you have to have in stock, you know the oldest ones that you ordered and you use those first, and you know when you need to order more, and that is a much better plan than, again, buying a bit of everything and making a bit of everything with no rhyme nor reason. So the 5th thing that I would say you need to consider as a starting out soaper is what your streams of revenue are going to be. And if you plan those streams, and for goodness sakes, plan on multiple streams right from the get-go. If 1 or even 2 or 3 of them are going, have a downwards trajectory, hopefully that 4th or 5th is going to save you. So think about doing markets. Think about having a website. Think about direct sales from family, friends, word of mouth, where they just contact you. How else are you going to sell your soap? Think about being in a store somewhere where they're selling it and you're getting commission. Something that's a regular order, like a bulk order from a brewery or a pet shop or somewhere where they want 10 or 100 bars every month. If you have multiple streams of revenue like that, or adding YouTube, making money on Instagram, I don't know. There's lots of ways you can make money. But if you have multiple ways, that way, if it's a really crappy market season, and last season was a crappy market season for us, you still know you're going to make money through streams A, B, or C. And you're absolutely going to need that in the long run to make your business be a success. And all of these are great arguments for just waiting a little longer before you officially put yourself out there as a business, because it's way harder if you put yourself out there not knowing what you did and then you have to pull back in and figure it out. It's better to go out from the outset with a strong identity as a brand and a plan and a scope. Hey, this advice is going to sound contrary. Don't overanalyze before you start soaping. So you don't have to be selling it, but if you don't make any, you're not started on your journey at all. You're not learning, you have nothing to gift, and you're missing out on all the joy of soaping. So don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Just get yourself a 10-inch mold on Amazon and go make 6 or 8 bars of soap and give them away to your friends and try them out and have some fun. And, take it from there. Don't be too frightened. It's worth doing. So don't get too bogged down. Get out there and get soaping. It's great for the environment. It's local, local production and consumption. You can have eco-friendly packaging. You're controlling what kind of products you're using and putting back into the environment. It's a great way to contribute, and it's creative. It's fun. I love it. Love it. So don't be too scared. Get out there and give it a try. Mwah.